Hello, good morning everyone. This is JAH with Simple Syrup. So what I like to do, or at least what I try to do every morning, is just have a moment of what I call guided meditation for emotional intelligence. So simply that is allowing yourself to dissect a moment of just simple thought. So what I like to do is use my hand as an example. If you put your hand in front of your face and you just look at your hand, everything else around it becomes blurred. You don't see it because you're focused on your hand. But this hand could also be an obstacle in front of you. And sometimes it's not going to move out of the way, but you have to look past your hand and see everything else around you. Because even though your hand is still here and you're not focused on it, you're still holding on to that emotion. And you have to ask yourself, why am I holding on to this emotion? It's like taking it and putting it in a little cell and you're holding on, I'm going to deal with that later. And then you never deal with it. And then you have all these imprisoned moments of when you were a kid, or when you were 25, or last week you were pissed off about something, or this week this happened and your parent passed away, or this happened to your child, or whatever. These are all things that we put them away and we don't deal with them. And that hand, it's still there. And you're so focused out here, but this thing is still in front of you and you're constantly trying to look around it. It's that moment when you have to recognize your reality of, I have to love myself and say, hey, instead of going out, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but getting drunk and all this and partying and having sex and using it as an escape, this outside world will always be here, will always be here. But when you go home and you close your eyes and you take yourself back into that moment, and it's just you, and you have all these voices yelling at you, help, talk to me, deal with me, what's going on? And you're trying to sleep. It's not going to work. It's like you're literally being the lord of your prison, not allowing yourself to tell your truth. Allow yourself to tell your truth. So when you say, you know what, meditation or guided meditation, you could be outside walking with your dog, you could be sitting in a park, you could be sitting in a classroom with a bunch of people chattering. It's just that moment of taking all of that background noise, blurring it out, like I said, blurring all of this out in front of you, and going back within to yourself and dealing with whatever moment's happening, deal with it. Go and sit and open each door and talk to each of those persons that used to be you and say, hey, I know what you needed in that moment because I'm old enough now, I'm strong enough now, I'm big enough now to give you what I believe you deserve. And that's just a hug, or a listening, or a kiss, or someone to simply just throw the ball back with. Whatever that memory is in your head in that moment, let that child, let that person go so that you guys can continue to grow. And then they can run freely within the realm of your worlds. And you can go play with them and have fun with them anytime you want. That's why I say that inner jovialness will never go away inside of me. Because you want to focus on remembering things are always going to happen. This body's going to age, and every time it ages, it doesn't mean every year. I don't go on years. It just ages. Over time, it's going to age, and you're going to see it in your face, and your body, and your weight, and your skin, all of these things. And you say, hey, thank you. Even I like hearing that sound. It's dry, ashy hands, but it's like, that's me. I appreciate this moment of me. Each day is just taking out a simple moment to say thank you to yourself, because you are a piece of God, and God is the universe. And the universe is that bamboo thing, this telephone, this hoodie. It materialized from somewhere. Even if it was the products or things put together by humans coming up with some thought that was, oh, an epiphany, it is still a moment of recognizing that God, that brain, that organ, this air, everything, it all correlates back to this present moment. Be grateful for it. Take it in. Breathe. I know that was a long one. I love you guys.